Hello, everyone, and welcome back to some information about health. Now, there's a lot of COVID-19 stuff going around, and I saw this a few days ago, and it's been repeated often enough that I thought I'd at least take a look. As you can see, this comes from the New York Post, so take it with a grain of salt or whatever. But I have found this at multiple other sites and things. So I just wanted kind of a quick. I haven't done a COVID video in a long time. Mainly because they get demonetized and sometimes they get taken down. But I found this interesting. So could melatonin help prevent and treat coronavirus? Now, remember, part of the problem with some of these questions is coronavirus is a family of viruses. It's not a single virus. And part of the thing with COVID-19 not being able to identify all the RNA, there is some similarity. So there's some base pairs, if you will, that they're and that's perhaps, and I think why like HCQ works as a treatment, because of some of the things it does with malaria and COVID-19 are similar to the way they attack the body. They're not, I'm going to say they're the same virus. They're not, okay, they're not the same entity, but some of the things they do, the receptors that they bind to are similar, and that's what some of this stuff does. So melatonin, a dietary supplement often used by insomnia sufferers. And sometimes you just need a little bit of boost going to sleep, and your body makes melatonin. This is if you go look at things about blue light and stuff like that, part of why people can't sleep at night is because it interferes with melatonin production. It could be used to possibly help or prevent or treat COVID-19, according to researchers at the Cleveland Clinic. And this is the hormone, which regulates the sleep-wake cycle, also associated with almost 30% reduced likelihood of contacting the disease. So 30%, okay, likelihood, contracting, not contacting. And that's pretty decent for something that's really not made to fight viruses. Additional studies are required about the over-the-counter supplement, the researcher said, of course, because part of it is, depending on how that study was conducted, it may not be a large enough sample. We'll see. It's very important to note these findings do not suggest people should take melatonin without consulting their physician. And because some people will, anyway, I'll go on. So this is lead researcher Feixiong Cheng, I guess, at the Cleveland Clinic's Genomic Medicine. And I get all kinds of pop-ups. They're going through my large-scale observational studies and randomized controlled trials are critical to validate the clinical benefit of melatonin or for patients, which they did not do with their vaccines. But we are excited about the association put forth in this study and the opportunity to further explore them. Cheng and his team used artificial intelligence to sift through COVID-19 registry. Oh yeah, that's right. This was the study of data. They found that people who take melatonin are nearly 28% less likely to test positive. The difference is even more significant among blacks. Well, that's interesting. Importantly, melatonin usage is SARS-CoV-2 in African American. Wow, that's more than twice. Wow, whoa, that's really, I don't know why that would be, but, and also I don't think it says what size dosage, but that is, wow. So who's bringing that down? I mean, somebody else must be in the 2% if the average is 28. We then got when we got this result, we were very excited. If our findings help the patients, that's our goal and mission at the Cleveland Clinic as well. Study was published last month when an article in Atlantic, the connection between the coronavirus and sleep sparked new interest about the research. Now that's good. And it may be that it's just helping people sleep better, that their immune system is able to cope with the stresses of life, and they just help them sleep better and fight off stuff. It's quite possible that it might just be that simple. I read the article about melatonin and sleep, and I was like, I already take melatonin every day, so that's great. Maybe I'm doing the right thing, stay healthy. It's really encouraging. President Trump also received melatonin in addition to zinc, vitamin D, famotidine, I guess, and aspirin while he was hospitalized for COVID-19. I wouldn't be surprised if it got HCQ. I mean, he's got the zinc, and he was treated with experimental polygluconal antibiotics, the antiviral drug remdesivir, and steroid. Okay, I'm not going to try to pronounce it, dexamethasone, but HCQ works. Okay. When asked if people who take melatonin are less susceptible to the virus because getting better sleep or because of the supplement itself. So it said we don't know the exact mechanism, right? But more and more data comes out. More and more data comes out that support our hypothesis. What's the hypothesis? Oh well, I guess the hypothesis is that it's increasingly show melatonin also help regulate the immune system. Okay, so there you go, and it's probably a combination. People getting better sleep, their immune system being healthier. The vitamin D definitely helps. You should be supplementing with D3. Know what your levels are naturally from your food and getting out, and then supplement as necessary. Other studies have shown that melatonin reduces chronic and acute inflammation. And inflammation, again, when you have inflammation in your body, it can cause other sicknesses to allow to take root, I should say. They don't cause necessarily other things, but your body's already fighting the inflammation. And then when you get exposed to something, you may end up coming down with it. Melatonin can also help improve our improve our human body, what we call tolerance, to help us reduce the tissue of organ damage induced by COVID infection. That's interesting because that's part of the problem with SARS. MERS is actually worse in the respiratory system. Some of these viruses do really bad things that sometimes are permanent. Meanwhile, a study of thousands of intubated COVID-19 patients conducted at Columbia University Irving Medical Center found that they were, when exposed to melatonin after being intubated, they had better outcomes. Again, and this part of the problem, this is, I think, what's caused a lot of the deaths, and this goes right to Fauci. This is the wrong treatment. Giving people antibiotics and HCQ for like 3 days. It's a high dose. It's not the maintenance dose. And you give a high dose for a very short time, and they're done with it. The researchers recommend an additional study, of course, because this part of this problem with these types of things. This is a very low, very inexpensive hormone, supplement, I guess you could call it, and there's not a lot of money to be made on them, and Big Pharma doesn't like that. And at the University of Toronto, researchers found that the melatonin can be added to increase the efficiency of corona vaccines. Okay, I don't know. Okay, that's interesting. Again, I think it's because the link with the immune system is probably the pathway here. 8 clinical trials are underway around the world to see if the melatonin findings bear out, according to The Atlantic, which noted that if the widely available sleep hormone does prove to help people, it could be the cheapest and most readily accessible medicine to counter the deadly bug. Yeah, so again, this is why D3 works. This is why HCQ works. And the antibiotics, especially, particular antibiotics in very short term, is they all support the immune system. Now, antibiotics over long term, they do bad things to the immune system, but very short term, they can be very helpful. So I'm not fully surprised by this, but this is why the zinc works. The zinc actually also blocks some of the protein receptors and stuff like that. But again, it's immune health. If your immune system is not healthy, things can get you. And this is also why a lot of the deaths are from patients with multiple morbidities, because their immune system's already overtaxed with multiple things that they're fighting or whatever's going on. And so this doesn't surprise me. It'll be interesting to see what becomes of this, if it gets buried, or if it's allowed to stand the test of time. But who knows? But again, it could help prevent. It's not, this does not mean if you take, 10 grams a night, you can do all kinds of risk behavior. You still again, part of the immune system health is treating your body right and not doing crazy things. So there you go. So I will link to this article. Now, this particular one from the New York Post, again, if you just Google this, you'll find it all over the place. I remember reading about it a month ago, but I thought I'd just do a quick video. And so let me know what you think, and we will see you. Goodbye.